Are there good addictions, and can you swap a bad one for a good one? In this video, I'm going to argue yes, and more specifically, that you can become addicted to productivity and you can swap that out for a phone addiction, or you can swap your phone addiction for the addiction to productivity, developing an addiction to productivity. Now, when I say become addicted to productivity, I'm not talking about workaholism, but being addicted to productivity in a healthy and a balanced way, especially if you're doing work where you're providing value to others. As you build this new addiction, you will gradually fortify yourself, make yourself stronger and better in all respects, not just rewiring the brain, like many people are saying out there, which is true, but just kind of fortifying your whole system, allowing you to resist those urges that sap you of time and energy, to have better self-control, and to be able to hold back from things like looking at your phone. Now, how will you be doing this? For me, it was about having a checklist of tasks to do, because I have many things on my list, up to 14 things, and I prioritize. I don't do 14 tasks every day, but somewhere between 5 and 6, maybe 6 to 8 rather, that I do every day. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to create a list of 3 to 5 things that you can do, and this is just practicing within a single window of time. And if you have a 1 to 2 hour window that you can schedule into your week, this will allow you to try this out in the most effective way. So if you have that 1 or 2 hour window, the 3 to 5 tasks, you will be spending anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes on a single task, and I call those blocks. So you got the larger window, and then you have the smaller blocks within the window. I have my notes here so you see me looking down quite often. The key to this is moving from one task to the next without taking a break. Now, I should have mentioned this up at the top of the video. You're not going to be taking breaks in between tasks. So if you have 5 tasks, which is kind of a lot within one window, but I have a lot of short little tasks that I do. So I'm just going to provide you with 5 as an example. Moving from task 1 to 2, there's going to be a transitional moment, one transitional moment. And so you have 2 to 3, there's one here. 3 to 4, you have one transitional moment. 4 to 5, one transitional moment. And so you have 4 transitional moments where you are going to get that practice in from moving from one to the next without taking breaks. And what this does is it improves your focus. Over time, doing this repeatedly, it will improve your focus and increase your momentum. It also improves your learning ability. So, what are some of the considerations? Maybe you don't have a 2 hour window. That's okay. Let's just say you have 15 minutes, right? You can still find 2 tasks to do within 15 minutes. Maybe for me, I always do a daily meditation, and that can be as short as 5 minutes. So I can slip in a daily meditation, and the second thing could be a journal entry, right? So you'll have between those 2 tasks that one moment of transition where you're just going to move from the meditation right into the journal entry, and you're going to feel it. You'll feel like, I'm really kind of moving along here. And that even that's a 15-minute block, a 15-minute window. You have 2 blocks within that window, short blocks, short tasks to complete, and you have that one moment of practice. It's like you're doing like a quick set of bicep curls, and you're feeling, or maybe you won't feel it at that, for that one moment, but it adds up certainly, and you're getting good time in. So that is, if you don't have the 2-hour window. What if you have a really big window? What if you have 4 to 8 hours and you are just doing one task, maybe video editing? Well, that's a different scenario, but you can apply the same concept where you take the larger task, the longer task of video editing, and break it up into, 10 to 12 blocks, where maybe you're spending 30 minutes on each block and essentially completing, maybe 3 minutes of more or less finalized video. So what you could do is just have a piece of scratch paper, draw 10 circles or 12 circles, however many blocks. You can do the math on that, and write the time underneath each circle, which may be 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes, who knows, 45 minutes. And then under that, write the number of minutes of finalized video that each block represents. Okay. So that's just one way if you have that really big window and only one task that you plan on working on for that day. Now let's just talk about the different kinds of breaks. We have micro breaks, which are physical. Micro breaks can be stretching, looking out the window, closing your eyes, breathing, standing up. What else did I write down here? Walking around. Okay. So those are micro breaks. They should take 15 to 20 seconds. And at any time you need to do those, I would recommend doing them. That's important. It really helps your momentum and your focus as well. And you can't be staring at the computer screen for 2 hours straight, right? Or whatever it is, even if you're drawing or doing some kind of detailed work physically with tools or something, pen or any kind of tool, your eyes will, you need to give your eyes a break, right? So those are micro breaks. Those are important. I do them every maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And again, they're only 10 to 15 seconds, 20 seconds at the most, right? Longer breaks, the second kind of break, longer breaks. These are very important. Before I talk about longer breaks, let me just talk about the digital breaks that all of us are very familiar with, and we tend to do in the middle of tasks, in between tasks. And these are the kind of breaks that, of course, we want to stop doing. Okay. And are representative, or I guess, I don't know what the right word is. They represent in many ways a kind of an addiction, right? A bad addiction, or symbolic of a bad addiction. So those breaks we are getting out of our workflow, and we are switching over to the longer break, right? This is the other kind of break, the third kind of break, which is basically going to the bathroom, eating a snack, getting coffee and water or tea, doing a quick chore. And during these longer breaks, you can even write, not write, but you can look at your phone in a casual way, scrolling through your phone if you're having a snack or something like that, or maybe a full meal, right? Eating lunch. Let's see. I was just going to say, I have a scrap piece of paper at hand, just within arm's reach. And if a chore comes up that I've forgotten that I need to do, I'll just write it down. If I'm in the middle of my workflow, I'll just write it down. In the past, I used to stop what I was doing and go do it, like take the meat out of the freezer so that I'll be ready when it's time to cook dinner. I work from home, so these things come up. And because I'm at home, I can just go down and do something that's important for something that I need to do later in the day. But these days, I don't do that anymore. I just write it down, and I take care of it during my longer breaks. The other thing that's important about longer breaks is I don't bring food to my workspace. I eat downstairs in my kitchen, and just make things a lot simpler in my workspace. I do bring liquids like my coffee and my water to my table. It's quick enough to just take a sip now and then, and it doesn't become a break, right? And in terms of eating, I get very distracted because I'm chewing, and then there's food in my mouth. I mean, even after I finish chewing, there's leftover food in my mouth, and so I don't like bringing food to the table. The other thing is about longer breaks is that behind me you'll see these drab room dividers, which for the longest time I've been thinking of hanging things from to make more interesting and to provide a little more contrast to my videos. But I need to do this because beyond that is our sleeping space, and we have family photos, so I don't want to distract, or I want to maintain a certain amount of privacy. So the room dividers I set up during my longer break because at any time I might have a block of just working on video recording for a YouTube video. Now, I just wanted to show you my checklist. This is my checklist, and I have, over 14. I just have all the tasks here, and I'm just covering them. And over here, I have X's and O's representing if I've completed them or haven't. That's my daily checklist, and I'm going to give you a sample of, let's see, I have it down here, a sample of a block. This is a 5-item block or a 5-task block that I can do within about a 2-hour window. So each task is about 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And the first one is meditation for 15 minutes, journaling for 20 to 30 minutes, drawing for 30 to 45 minutes. I do abstract art. So drawing for 30 to 45 minutes, speaking practice for 30 minutes about. And that's just public speaking practice, on-camera speaking practice. I make sure to do that on a daily basis. And video editing, which is not something I do daily, but I just wanted to slip it in there. 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So again, 5 tasks, 4 opportunities to practice transitioning without a break. Okay. The other final thing that I'll say that helps your momentum is do the most difficult task first. You've probably heard it many times if you do listen to these type of videos, these productivity type of videos, and I guess personal growth videos, right? Do the most difficult task first. It's called eating the frog. This is tremendous, actually. It's such a small thing and it's easy to overlook, but it gives you a huge sense of relief. You feel like a weight is lifted off of your shoulders and everything becomes downhill from that point on. You have a feeling of so much more momentum. So do the most difficult task first. For me, it's usually the speaking practice. It requires the most focus and energy. So that is the technique in a nutshell, or the approach. What can I say? It's something that you can try. Please comment and subscribe below. What else? I think that's about it. So I look forward to the next video. Until then, take care.